far and away, the highlight of the trip is a poker story. Okay, it's gonna have to be a poker story, and I'm not even part of it. Right? It is my dear friend Eric. My dear friend Eric, who, as I always say, does the hard stuff in the daily. He's the one who uploads your videos. At DreamHack, the longest amount of time it went from a game being done to a game being uploaded was 4 hours. That is because Eric stayed up all night in America while I was in Sweden, downloading, cutting, and uploading. Woo! So he's sitting poker. He's like playing next to me, and Eric never plays any hands. Ever. He does not play any hands. He'll play like a hand an hour, and even if he gets pocket aces twice in 1 hour, he's like, no, I just better be a little more conservative and wait until I get aces when I'm not under quota. He never plays a hand like ever. And he's just sitting there sort of quietly. Eric's a fairly mild-mannered person. He's just sort of quietly sitting there, yeah, just listening. I'm talking and chatting and being an idiot, and Eric's very patiently sitting there folding and folding and checking and folding and folding and getting aces. No, I'll wait for another pair of aces and folding them. And then the following happens. Eric gets involved in the hand. All right? Eric gets involved in this hand, and literally the exact opposite of what I think is going on is what's going on throughout this whole hand. I just want to throw that out there. If you don't understand poker, just pause right now and look up the rules because you're not going to care. If you do play poker, it's fine. So what happens is it's an ace and a couple of hearts right there, right? It's a couple of hearts and an ace. And no one bets except for this guy who just does not understand how the game of poker at all works. So he makes a little bet, and Eric, see, you don't actually have to understand the rules now I think of it because it's about the emotion. Eric, when he bets, Eric gets all shifty. He's shifting in his chair. I mean, a lot of people watch the movies and they're like, you have to make sure you don't have any tells, you know. It doesn't matter at all. It's like saying, oh, I need to play StarCraft. Isn't it true that I need to undergo surgery to become Korean to play it well? No, you don't. Like, it helps, but you don't need it. Right? So Eric's there but he's like, shit, and I'm like, okay, Eric, don't shift uncontrollably, nervously. Eric, again, very quiet, mild-mannered, going, So he decides he's going to call. But the thing is, there is an entire process to putting the chips in the pot that somehow is extended by 3 to 4 minutes when Eric is in the hand. And let me explain it to you. So what you have chips and they're stacked. It's not like flat dollar bills that are like easy to like pick up in bunches. When you need to push a bunch of chips in, normally what you do is you make a big vertical stack and you push it in. But if you need to count them, you make 2 little stacks next to each other, or maybe 3 stacks, and you kind of then stack them back up and push them in. Eric makes stacks of 2. So he puts 2 little chips here, and then he puts 2 little chips here, and then 2 little chips, and 2 little chips, and 2 little chips, and this little chip pair. It's taking up like the whole table. He's like counting all these little chips out. And then, okay, so he decides to call. You know what happens? The turn is an ace of hearts. So I'm like, well, since Eric folds aces most of the time, he probably has an incredible hand. At the very least, a flush. Definitely either 4 of a kind or better. You know, something like that. So Eric, when the ace of hearts come down, Eric goes, okay. Like he's talking to the cards. Like, who are you talking to, Eric? So Eric checks, the other guy makes a bet, and Eric makes a big raise. If someone folds aces twice an hour and makes a big raise, upon being shiftier than the guiltiest person in a Mickey Mouse cartoon you've ever seen, then he probably has a good hand, right? Eric raises. Guy thinks forever and calls. And the river is another 4. So it's ace 4, whatever, with 3 hearts. And I'm like, if Eric had a flush, he's doomed. Because the other guy could have a full house, right? It's tragedy. It's the most miserable, terrible thing ever. I'm worried. Eric's shifting there. And this is, I think, my favorite part of the whole thing. The guy has like $20 left. He has 4 red chips, 4. Eric counts out like $150 worth of chips, 2 at a time. Again, 2 at a time, taking up the whole expanse of the table. He's like bumping shoulders with me and the other person who's right. He's taking up the whole space of the table to bet more money than the guy has by a long shot, right? So the guy is like, all right, I call. And Eric, I thought Eric got screwed. I thought Eric was going to flip over flush. Eric turns over an ace, so Eric has a full house. And his opponent turns over a flush. So I think, what is actually going on? I can't believe either of them played it this way. Regardless, what happens is Eric, very mild-mannered, very quiet generally, apparently has consumed about 10 Coronas. Unbeknownst to me, just quietly, just getting one Corona after another. And when Eric sees the other guy's cards, quiet, mild-mannered Eric says, "Oh, you have to flush? Damn it! Oh, damn it!" And I'm like, "Eric, you have a full house. You win the pot." And he's like, "What? Oh, did the board pair? Yes!" The guy's 5 feet away, or 2 meters for your European folks. He's like right there. And Eric's like, "Yeah! I won! Yes! I didn't know I won! Alright! Woo! Yeah!" And I'm like, "Eric, he's there. He's right there, Eric." And the guy's like getting really mad, and Eric says, "I've never knocked anyone off a table before." He's trying to high-five me. I'm like, "Oh my god, high-five me. This is awesome, but I don't want to walk out of the casino with you." So that was great. So that was wonderful, and Eric proceeded to just talk about it for 30 minutes before we left and got Del Taco, where I got food poisoning, which brings me to right now.